Hello, hello. We have a new chapter of Berserk now. I have a cat in my lap. What a cozy way to read a horrifying and oh, he left. What a cozy way that was to read a horrifying, violent, sometimes uh, mind-destroyingly tragic series like Berserk. The last chapter was pretty insane. They're still on Elf Island, kind of delving into people's memories. First, we had a journey through Casca's memory, forcing Shirke and what's her face there to see the horrors of the eclipse firsthand. Now we delve into the memory of the Berserk armor itself after meeting with the man who forged it. Guts witnessing the origin of the Skull Knight, one of the longest standing but most mysterious characters in Berserk. The Skull Knight who rides around on a skeletal horse. Hey, kitty. Sometimes saving Guts out of some pretty major pinches. What, do you want back up? We found out that he was aware of the Berserk armor too, and had also experienced something like the Eclipse, where the God Hand with a slightly different membership had taken someone extremely beloved to him away from him. He used to be a king of some ancient country, which I don't think exists anymore. And he says now that was the beginning of a dead man stalking the endless night. So, what's going to happen next? I honestly have no idea. I don't know if we're going to delve more into the Skull Knight's history. If we're going to see another memory, perhaps, of the Berserk armor. Or if, I don't know, other fun stuff, other fun adventures, maybe some slice of life antics with the rest of the crew as they explore Elf Island. So yeah, that was indeed an eclipse. Is he the same as me? Is he also branded? We saw that the woman he loved, who had died in the eclipse, was branded. Kitty. You comfy? Now he is leading them somewhere else. What's in this hollow? A mausoleum. Beneath the roots of the spirit tree, His Majesty, this night's beloved, sleeps. I see. And all these fairies just seem to be having a little ball. Just chilling in this kind of epicenter of tragedy. The gravestone they use for his dead beloved is kind of strange. It has these really ornate spiral markings, or not ornate, but very primitive. Sorry, the opposite, spiral markings. That we've seen on some kind of like magical relics and stuff around the island. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. It makes me think that she's maybe not as dead as it seems. They do say sleep instead of decay. So maybe there's some sort of revival ritual unfolding here. I'm calling to visit the grave of the Lady Priestess of the Cherry Blossom, Sir Knight. Ah, okay, so she looks a lot like the dead beloved. Spitting image of that woman. Maybe they're sisters or something? I am a portent of doom, the remnant of a grudge. My aim is ever singular. Badass. I have not the heart to bathe in the lambency of my mortal days. So basically saying, yeah, maybe I could reenact the love I had with her with you. Maybe I could be happy. Maybe I could find some peace for these old dusty bones. But that is not me. That is simply not what I am to do. Oh, his horse isn't skeletal. Sorry, I wasn't sure. It just has this kind of skeletal armor. It's a surprisingly normal looking horse. It's just big. You weren't invited. By mastering that skeleton knight, what kind of connection did they have? Oh, okay. Very fond of them both back in the day, but her feelings were too strong. Calamitous day when this black sun shone upon the land, so that was the previous eclipse. My friend Flora violated a taboo, exiled from the village and driven from this island. So this is... Oh, so she's talking not about... I'm sorry. I thought she was talking about the Archmage of the island, but she's talking about the witch that taught her back on the mainland, who had the Berserk armor in her possession for some reason. I see. Okay. Her elf shows up. Her gang of thugs. Good face here. Shirkei's face is really good. Something about that monkey. Okay. See, I knew it. It was just gonna be silly slice of life antics with the rest of the crew. There was no way we'd get anything more climactic than that previous chapter in this one. We need a little downtime. Oh, kitty. I wish you could read manga with me. I wish you could understand the many-decade masterpiece that is Berserk. When you were born, Guts was still on the boat. He was still on the boat. Yes, he was. Here, you can see him. Anyways. So yeah, these kids. Oh, yeah, alright. The Witch Pumpkin Wrap. What do you think of my handiwork? Now that you finally deigned to grace us with your present, Shirkei. I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm just guessing. I think I say something differently every time. I really like how the... Oh. Alright, see ya, kitty. I really like how they typeset this with the, like, kind of curly font meandering all over the word bubble. So he's just kind of pranking them and bullying them because he feels like he got pranked and bullied first. Kind of seems reasonable. My code is to give twice over and mayhem for men and disgrace for women. Yeesh. I've devised a new lethal art. You poor wretches are my guinea pig. Because you guys put me through hell, you will now dance as pathetic and hilarious as the rest of them. Oh, this is fun. I don't know. It's cute. It's fun. Puck looks funny there. Looking like Yoda. Yoda Puck. See, I think he's really underestimated them. These are witches. They can cast magic. How are you going to outprank literal magic? He's tossing elves at them. Throwing himself down, using his pumpkin wrapping technique. Once more, sure. You wonder what Murata would be like as like a gag manga author. Just the sense of comedic timing and motion and stuff in these panels. This is really impressive. My ultra three-dimensional killing art. And a bunch of other Star Wars jokes. This is just gag manga. This is just gag manga. I don't know. I don't know what more I could ask for. It's just the complete inverse. It's so funny because like you can see the same framing, the same really dynamic perspectives, the same cinematicness of like approaching something terrifying, as we saw in the last chapter when it was depicting, you know, the eclipse, a cataclysmic tragic event. And here it is, him running around pranking people. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love Shirkei. Oh, man, look at his face. And more Star Wars jokes. It's weird because he's making, like, old Star Wars jokes, like Jar Jar Binks and stuff. Which makes me wonder if he had actually written the scripts for these way back in 2001. And hasn't bothered to update the references in them. Okay. Shatter your soul with such terror that you'll never in a million years think to crush us again. You'll be crushed. Ooh, Booba. I see his weakness. His one weakness emerges. Alright, just general chaos. No laws bind me today. I won't fall for your tricks. He is monkeying around. Sure. His movement and moral character are no longer human. Just the contrast of this in the last chapter. And that we waited so long for this chapter. Fun. And then he is eaten by a frog. Oh, it's not a frog, it's a frog horse. that what's-her-face mermaid girl is riding on. The Kelpie they rescued from their long sea battle. Sure, sure. That's my friend, so no eating him. So it's a Kelpie. That's what Kelpies look like in this world, I guess. Kelpies I just know as like water horse. I like this idea of like frog horse even more. It's so cool. And now they're just torturing him as they ought to. In rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2. So that they can get a constant stream of jabs. Sure. Some casual nudity. 'Tis Berserk. We are here, a sorcerer's paradise. We've reached the end of our journey. A place in the sun where I'm accepted for who I am. Then why? My master left this island, didn't she? And this is the most compelling line of plot that's revealed in this chapter, is finding out that she had violated some sort of taboo and was forced to leave the island. I don't know what sort of consequences this could have on like the larger plot. The taboo has something to do with the powers of the God Hand, some forbidden magic, something to do with the Berserk armor, or if this is just kind of like a story unto itself that we're going to learn her master's character arc and stuff. Either way, kind of interesting, compelling. And also that she says, we've reached the end of our journey. It is quite open. It's not a completely answered question what they'll do next from here. Of course, Guts still wants his revenge on Griffith. That is probably priority number 1, now that Casca has had her head examined. And I'm sure the series is going to build to that ultimate climax. But for the rest of the party, I don't know. I don't know if there's a really compelling reason for them to leave. This is quite the lovely place. And here, an iconic image. Guts leaning up against the tree, introspecting. Thinking when he talked to the Elder Witch about him and the Skull Knight. Shows up along the way to mouth off about some damning prophecy or another. He's an ominous skeleton. Our friend is not of our world. His heart is different from that of man. He's driven only by a profound grudge and an endless rage. So fascinated with you because you're so much like his former self. So I think it probably is true that if Guts ever died at this point, that his skeleton would rip itself out of his flesh and continue hunting Griffith. That is simply a fact. But I suppose the lesson here is that the Skull Knight is a much more tragic figure because this is all he is capable of doing. He is driven singularly by this grudge, and he has no human relations, he has no sense of pleasure, he has no sense of warmth. Even seeing his former lover's grave, he has no sense of peace or anything, any sense of closure, any sense of even sadness or grief. It is only revenge. And Guts, of course, has all of those things. Guts is a complete human being that is capable of any and all emotion under whatever circumstances. So, I don't know. Thanks for the warning, but I don't die easy. I need looking after by some guy who doesn't know if he's dead or alive. Burn. In the end, you must determine what to make of your fury. Whether it is the breath that keeps you alive or the hellfire that consumes you from within. And here he sees a softer place. Another direction that he could go in his life. Just living peacefully with Casca in some idyllic place and not, endlessly putting his life on risk and slashing through billions of monsters. And yet he swings his sword. So forget about determining in the end or whatever. On this lazy island, there's nothing to do but nap and swing this thing around. And he thinks of Griffith, of course. Okay. There it is. The complexities of his character. Ooh. Okay. And one final twist. Another hook for the next chapter, which will come out in 2022, is Casca's mysterious mute child walking among the petals. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. So what the heck is up with this kid? born of Casca and Griffith, I'm pretty sure, when Griffith raped her during the eclipse. I don't know. A fun chapter, a very silly chapter, but with a few threads that cast forward into some things that are much more ominous. Okay, let's look forward to the next one. Who the heck knows when it'll be? Bye-bye.